got drinks. I've got drinks.
This is the Veteran Wargamer. I'm your host, Jay Arnold. Joining me today, the Dean of the Hobby, Mr. Henry Hyde. Henry, hello. How are you?
Hi there, Jay. I am fine, mostly fine. And the Dean of the Hobby, I like that title. You're the only person who calls me the Dean of the Hobby, Jay, but I like it.
Well, I'm hoping it'll catch on, kind of like the Brummy Dwarf. Mutual friend, of course, Mr. Neil Earthquake Shook.
Absolutely. Hi, Neil, if you're watching or catching up on this. Haven't spoken to you in ages, mate, actually. So, yeah.
So what we're doing, if for those that are tuning in or catching up later, is we're getting ready. Things have been hectic here at Veteran Wargamer HQ. Had to take my son over to get looked at. He's got a pretty nasty cough, and he's going to be okay. We've got him the right medication, and he got his flu shot, poor guy, and he was not having that, but that's how it goes. So we are getting ready to play the Commands and Colors Napoleonic scenario for Lubeck, November 6th, 1806, the North Gate portion of the battle. And Henry, are you just about ready? Are you just about set up?
Yeah. I'm just peering in your direction because on my screen your board is tiny. So you're going to have to kind of repeat out to me where specifically you move things so that I don't make a mistake at this end and we end up fighting two different battles, buddy.
Well, that'd be okay too, as long as I win.
Cool.
But that's all right, right?
Yeah. So I'm assuming that Chris, we need to say big thank you to your brother, Chris, who is in the engine room here, stoking away at the boilers and tweaking all the knobs and looking after all those hissing boilers to make sure that everything runs smoothly. So thank you, Chris.
Well, interesting that he's stepped away at the moment, but interesting that you mentioned tweaking knobs because we are going to talk a little bit about men's health issues.
You're such a charmer.
So this is from the Prussian expansion. For those of you that are wondering at home what we're doing, this is Commands and Colors, Napoleonics. Henry and I have played Commands and Colors Ancients before. Napoleonics is slightly different, a little bit more, I would say complex.
Yep.
A touch more complex. It's still fun. It still gives a fine game, in my opinion.
Yep.
I dare say I prefer Napoleonics to Ancients.
Right.
There's a little bit more. Well, there's certainly more flavor to the armies, to the different factions.
Yeah.
And I would also say that there's more depth to the gameplay because you've got more difficult decisions to make. I think would be fair to say, wouldn't you?
I think that's probably true. Viewers may have to forgive us if we occasionally go and consult the rules.
Yeah, that's going to be how it goes. So, I think. Oh, Pat Gilliland. Hello, Pat. Who says "G'day, A."
Hi, Pat.
So we are
lighting just to see if I can improve my lighting any. So bear with me 1 second, Jay. I'm just gonna
no worries.
And bring in a light a little bit closer to try and eliminate a little bit of shadow. Is that better, folks? I hope that's better. Yay, that looks better to me. So we should point out, Jay, are you there?
Yep.
We should point out to people that I am playing the Prussians on this side. We both have our board set up so that the viewers can see it the same way round. It's not confusing an opposite way it's round. So you can see that I'm sitting next to the Prussian edge of the board, with the town of Lubeck is sort of down here between these two sort of town hexes here. This is the city of Lubeck, and also over the other side, there's Jay with his French. It's confusing. It was confusing when I was setting it up, actually. These groups of troops in this walled garden here, which is very beautiful tile, actually. Very lovely Commander colour style. A walled garden there and two kind of forest hexes. Those are actually Prussian troops. They belong to me. It's quite a bit difficult to see, as in real life it was, of course, to make the distinction between Prussian and French troops, because the Prussian blocks are all sort of a dark grey and the French blocks are a dark blue. So it's kind of an interesting parallel to the way it was in real life, where, of course, think of Waterloo, where Napoleon shouting out, "Where is Grouchy?" And he looks in his eye. You think he can't tell. Are they the Prussians coming, or is that Grouchy? Well, blow me down, it turned out to be the Prussians. So it's going to be an interesting parallel here. So if we get the units mixed up, don't be surprised. Shall I read out what the historical background is, Jay?
That would be lovely. Thank you.
Jay?
Yes, please, go ahead. Read away.
Hello, I seem to have lost contact with Jay.
Yes, go read.
All right, Jay's just giving me a thumbs up. I think that's fine. Right, folks, if you can hear me, I hope you can hear me. I'm going to read out the historical background from, let me shove this under my camera. You can see from the Commands and Colours rules booklet. Ta-da! And it says, because this was 6th of November, 1806, Lübeck. Blocked from reaching the order, Blücher turned and raced to the west to join forces with the Swedes around the neutral city of Lübeck. When Blücher reached the city, he forced his way in, but promised he would not fight in the city in exchange for food, drink, and fodder. However, as soon as his force was inside the city walls, he ordered them to take up defensive positions. Bernadotte's and Soul's corps arrived soon thereafter and attacked immediately. When the French attacked the city, Blücher broke his promise to the city fathers, stating he must fight. Bernadotte's soldiers, after a hard fight, broke through the city's northern defences and overwhelmed the Prussian defenders, capturing thousands of dispirited soldiers. Blücher, who thought the city secure, was nearly captured in his headquarters at the Golden Angle Inn. Is that supposed to be the Golden Angel Inn? Golden Angle sounds weird. He barely escaped, but most of his staff, including the brilliant Scharnhorst, was not as fortunate. The French brutally sacked Lübeck during and after the fighting, partly because of Blücher's violation of neutrality, and partly because the French soldiers were as skilled at looting as they were at fighting. The French trapped the remaining Prussians against the Danish frontier, and Blücher was compelled to surrender. Oh dear. The stage is set, the battle lines are drawn, and you are in command. Can you change history? And the battle notes are: the Prussian army is commanded by Blücher. And I'm trying to find it on my board. Where is Blücher in front? In fact, he's not on the board at the moment, is he? But I have 4 command cards and 4 iron wheel counters. 4 command cards, that's not very much. Whereas the French, commanded by Bernadotte, have 5 command cards, and they move first. Victory goes to the first player, who captures 7 victory banners. Special rules, ladies and gentlemen. The St. Gertrude Church is a temporary victory banner. The St. Gertrude Church is, let me find it, it's under here. There's the St. Gertrude Church, folks. It's right there. Okay. So that, whoa, put it back. So that is a temporary victory banner worth 1 banner for the French player at the start of its turn. The French player gains 1 victory banner for each French unit that exits the battlefield from any Prussian North Gate baseline hex. There we go. And so this is the hexes, not the sexes, the hexes in the center section. That was hard to say, Jay. The Prussian player gains 1 temporary victory banner as long as the French unit does not exit through any Northgate baseline hexes. So I basically, at the moment, I've already got a victory banner. The Vakenitz River, which is, hang on, it's that one. is not fordable. And the Trave River, which is this one, is fordable. So there we are, folks. That's the background to the game.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me now?
Is Jay aware that I can't hear him? I can't hear a sausage.
Well, shit. Yeah, let's change.
So we have obviously a slight technical hitch, ladies and gentlemen, where for some reason I can't hear Jay, but he can hear me. So perhaps our technical director may be able. I think Jay may have accidentally hit his mute button or something like that. Perhaps to check that out, because I see that on this special thing that we're playing via, there's a mute button down at the bottom of the screen, and perhaps someone at that end has accidentally hit their mute button. So we'll be finding out shortly. So yeah, since one of the main reasons for doing this is to have some conversation over the game, we need to sort out that thing. I haven't touched anything, Jay. I haven't touched anything on my end here. So I don't know why you can't hear me.
We can hear you fine.
Yeah, we can hear you fine. Let's try something else here.
So we do some frantic messaging via Facebook, ladies and gentlemen. And so perhaps Jay's talking to you, perhaps you can hear Jay, but I can't hear
Did you put on
Jay.
Logitech?
I can see somewhere up here.
Is that your Logitech or my Logitech?
It isn't working.
Tronics.
Some reason. Sign-in details are out of
Test 1 2. Can you hear us, Henry?
That's for my Chrome. That's nothing to do with this thing. It shouldn't be, because I was hearing Jay just fine earlier. I've turned it off now. No, should be hearing me. Perhaps I'll be receiving some magic technical advice in a minute.
Have him leave the studio and then come back in.
Here.
Perhaps I need to log out and log in again, Jay.
Hey, those of you that can hear us and are watching, we appreciate your patience.
So, I'll be back shortly, folks.
So Henry's logging out and is going to log back in, and we certainly appreciate y'all taking the time out of your afternoons or evenings, depending on where you are, or morning, I suppose, if you're really far away, and coming and joining us today. Let's see, we've got some comments, mostly about whether or not we can hear people. Okay. So, yeah. So, luckily, due to multiple communication devices, Henry and Chris are communicating at Facebook. So I've got to put some French artillery out. And then I think we'll have all the units out. There we go.
Oh, can you hear me, guys?
Henry, can you hear us now?
I can't hear you.
Just wonderful.
Oh.
Just great. Pat says, and again, okay. So we'll try to get Henry sorted out. Can you ask him to double check his speakers? Maybe he's gone to a headset. Okay, so luckily my brother is a certified Mac technician. And as we're all very well aware, Henry is a Mac aficionado. So things will get rolling here shortly. Okay, so Battle Brush Studio says that's a snazzy organizing box you got for your units there. These are just standard Plano. It's the model 3449. Yeah, 3449. They're about $2 a piece at Walmart, and they're pretty much the standard size box that most people, at least in the U.S., use for organizing their commands and colors units.
Ah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Huzzah!
Okay, I can see what the problem is, that there was this other piece of sound software that interfered. So apologies, folks, but we're back.
So we were just answering a question about the boxes. Battle Brush Studio said that's a snazzy organizing box you got for your units there. So these are, like I said, these are the Plano 3449. They're about $2.50 each, if that. They're pretty handy. So whenever I buy a new Commands and Colors box or expansion, I know just to go and buy 6 of them because that's all the units they put in the box. They're pretty handy. So odd looks notwithstanding, at the beginning of this year, I went through and stickered all of my expansions for, Commands and Colors Ancients and Commands and Colors Napoleonics. I bought like 18 of these things in the space of about 36 hours, each time getting the same cashier at Walmart. And I got some more than a few funny looks, but I think we're set up now. I think we're at the point where we can go ahead and let me shuffle my cards here.
Yeah.
You shuffle yours, I presume.
Yeah, I'm just in the process right now. Shuffly. Oh yes.
Getting all the good cards.
Yeah. I need to decide whether it was better with you muted or whether I. Okay, buddy. Yeah, you sound like the far end of a long tin can at the moment, but
I can fix that.
Well, we're gonna get a different mic on now.
Cool.
DP&P.
All right. Am I sounding okay from your end?
Oh, you're sounding grand.
Okay, mate.
Is this better now?
Oh yeah, that's better.
Okay. Well, it's got the better microphone that's actually closer to my head.
Right. Okay, buddy. I am shuffled. I have got. I don't know if people can see on my baseline here. If they're wondering what these are the French flags over here. I'm waving a finger. Can you see my finger? French flags and Prussian flags. And also I've got 4 what are called iron will counters over here. And iron will is a special kind of national characteristic thing for the Prussians, which is basically if they get a flag card against them, a flag dice against them, it means that they can ignore one of those flags. And I had forgotten the most important thing in the game, which is these wonderful Commands and Colors dice.
Yes.
Which I imagine that anyone watching is probably familiar with. But anyway, listen, let's be nice and say, right, the Commands and Colors dice, their battle dice, are one of the most appealing things about the game, actually, because instead of them just having dots on or numbers, they actually indicate the type of troops that they effect. So, for example, you can see that this one is got an artillery symbol on it, an infantry symbol on it, a cavalry symbol on it, another infantry symbol, and then on one end you've got a flag, and on the other end you've got swords. Flags generally indicate that the unit that is taking that hit has got to retreat. But it's very simple, because if you're shooting against infantry, you need to roll infantry symbols, or against cavalry or against artillery. It's really straightforward, which is brilliant. It takes away a load of the kind of rubbish thinking that you sometimes get in games. So there we go.
I definitely agree with that, Henry, and I think there's a lot that one could do with dice like that. And
Yep.
I would definitely like to explore that type of thing a little bit more. And actually, I've kind of been kicking around the idea how to do that. So
Yep.
maybe
Cool.
we'll have something along those lines before too long.
Okay, buddy.
So
Sounds
you've
good.
got your 4 cards.
I'm just about to. You already dealt yours, buddy.
I'm just
Right.
taking 5 right off the top. If you want to take 4 off the top of yours, and we'll just go from
I have
there.
just taken 4 off the top, and I'm about to have my first depression episode of the day. So let's have a look. Oh my goodness me, and oh my goodness me, and oh my goodness me, and oh my goodness me. Who shuffled these cards? That'll be me. Ha! Right, you go first, don't you, buddy?
I do. We got some. What do we got for comments there?
Benito says, I have similar boxes, but in the equivalent to the UK Poundland in Spain. Battlebrush Studios says, clever approach that. Pat G says, yep, better, Jay, referring to, your voice.
Well,
And use these in Memoir 44, make it very quick to resolve action.
yep. The Memoir 44 is, of course, another Commands and Colors type game, but set during World War II. Okay, so I get to move first, right?
Yes, I believe you do, Jay.
Okay.
So let me see what's going on. Oh, you're Jay. Be careful, mate, because otherwise I can see your cards. Admittedly, they're so tiny on my screen, I can't really tell what they are. But still, I thought I ought to warn you as a gentleman.
Okay, well, let's do this then. What I'm going to do is I'm going to... Well, hold on. I'll do a coordinated advance.
Oh, no, I hate those.
Issue an order to 4 units or leaders. Order 1 on left flank, 2 in the center, and 1 on the right flank.
Wow.
That we're playing?
Lubeck, yeah.
Lubeck.
Lubeck.
Unpainted Lead Syndrome asked what battle? Battle of Lubeck. I believe that was November 6th, 18 something or other.
1806.
1806. Yep.
There you go.
Okay, so what we're going to do with my 1, 2, and 1 is on the left, this foot artillery is going to fire. In the center, this foot artillery will fire. This horse artillery will fire. And then on the right, I'll move Revaux up into the line infantry, and that'll be it for them.
Instinct, Chris, thanks for changing the image so I can now see Jay's board more clearly, mate.
Okay, do you need me to go over the board again?
Yeah, so
Okay, so on the left,
yeah,
this foot artillery is going to fire.
Yep.
This foot artillery is going to fire in the center.
Yep.
This horse artillery is going to fire in the center. And
Yep.
then I moved Revaux from here into the line infantry here.
Into the center block of line infantry. Okay,
Correct.
I've done him. Okay, I've done him. So you're going to shooty at my poor boys.
Yes, absolutely.
So you're concentrating on the unit that's on the hill there.
Well, that's a splendid idea. Thank you.
Well, I was wondering, there's nothing else for you to shoot at, boy.
Well, I could shoot right into the woods. I mean, that's big dice up next to you.
Well, yeah. I'm not going to say anything. You do what you want. You do what you want.
Of course, now I got to find the fire effects cheat sheet card. All right, here we go. Quick reference card. There we go.
Yeah.
Because it's
So
big
artillery.
dice up close. Okay.
So you're how many dice away? So your foot artillery. So you're going to be rolling
3 dice.
3 dice. Is that right?
Yep.
2 hexes away, 3 dice. Ah.
Okay, so on your artillery on the hill, well, let's see what effect
on.
the hill has.
One,
on fire.
you're 2 dice away. So you're 2 hexes away. So you roll 3 dice. Ouch.
And there's no effect for artillery as we check our terrain effects chart.
No. But do my light infantry disregard everything you do because you're French scum?
So Benito asks, Jay, can't you do a grand battery fire with those 2 RDs?
That would require me to look in the rules.
Possibly.
Let's have a look. Where's the rules? God. It's the first big rules set, isn't it? Hang on.
Yep.
Oh, crikey. Hang on. Different box.
Hold on. Now.
So it's the big blue book, Jay.
Yep. Okay,
That one.
so we're looking for grand battery.
So we're looking combat. We're looking foot artillery, horse artillery. We're looking. Oh God, is that in one of the other supplements? Horse artillery.
You're gonna have to. Benito, you're gonna have to reference your comment there because I don't know where the hell I'm looking.
He says, "Believe me, you can do it."
Thank you for the encouragement. However,
now what I said was I bet it's in the Waterloo supplement or something. There must be a special rule. Napoleonic tactics. All right, okay, hang on. I think we're getting somewhere close. We're getting combined arms combat procedure. Combined arms combat.
yeah, I don't think that's the same thing though.
No, it's not. I'm just somewhere around here. Hills. I can't see anything for grand battery.
All right,
I can't see anything in that rule book, Jay. If you can see where I'm holding it up.
Yep, that's fine. We're just gonna go ahead and move right along.
Okay, buddy.
All right, so foot artillery, 2 hexes, 3 dice, 2 infantry. Blam!
Oh no!
Oh
That's
yeah.
That's not very nice.
Oh, I like it. And that's a chance to kill your leader there as well. Stiff upper lip and all that.
Chip, chip, cheerio, all that rot.
Yep.
Is that when the unit takes casualties? So that's
2 dice looking for swords on both. No dice. All right, but
hallelujah. So was that? That was just one of your batteries, wasn't it?
Correct.
He says it may be in the Generals and Tactics supplement.
Okay, yeah, we're not playing with that, Benito. We're playing pretty straightforward.
Thank God. Oh, yeah. I just blasphemed. I blasphemed.
Oh, no, not... Anyway. It's only blasphemy if you believe in that deity, Henry, and I believe you're firmly agnostic, right?
Absolutely. Firmly.
So you won't hear that from me because I'm a Methodist, the way God intended. All right, so this other foot artillery will fire on the same target.
Okay. Man.
Oh, 3 infantry hits.
Oh my goodness me! So you've obliterated that unit, And then light infantry, those cannibals should have gone bouncing through. Am I about to discover a rule where light infantry ignore... that's French, hang on.
They went bouncing through your skull.
Yes.
Oh, is that what it is? Thanks.
All right. So now with the leader casualty check, we're down to a single die, needing swords on a single die to kill the leader. No.
Blimmin' heck. So what that means is next move, I can use one of my orders to move him if needs be, can't I?
Yes, up to three hexes.
Yeah. So was that your turn?
No, I've still got some shooting to do.
Oh, you got the horse artillery.
But that's a victory banner for me, and I'll put that down here.
Oh, blimmin' heck. Yeah, hang on. So, yeah, I take off that and put that over the other side of the board. Ouch. But also I've got a temporary victory banner, haven't I? Because I'm still in control of that thing.
Yes.
The
thing
that is said in this, right. St. Gertrude's Church is a temporary victory banner with worth 1 banner for the French player at the start of its turn if you capture it. But the Prussian player gains a temporary victory banner as long as the French unit, does not exit through any Northgate baseline hex. So I've got a temporary victory banner which I've put to one side because you haven't got through here yet. Anyway,
okay.
Carry on, buddy. Your horse artillery. So you were going to gallop your horse artillery off the board, I believe you said.
I said no such thing. But thanks for playing. So is that a town or windmill? The walled garden, you figure, or is that a type of terrain?
It's a walled garden, so that's probably in the supplement somewhere, isn't it? Hang on, it's on the special thing we've got here. So a walled garden is. It's on this sheet, Jay. It's on the Prussian sheet that came with the Prussian game. Can you see?
Well, he's looking that up. I'm going to go ahead and...
No, walled garden, it says moving into, you must then stop. A unit may not battle the turn it moves into a... hang on, it says number 1. Yeah, a unit may not battle the turn it moves into a forest hex. Light infantry, rifle, light infantry, young guard infantry, and other light infantry type units are the exception. These units may move on to a forest hex and still battle when eligible. Well, that's weird. Why has it got... So anyway, you must stop when you move into a walled garden. Going out of it, there's no restriction. And then there's battle effects. If you're battling to get into it, you're -1 dice for infantry, -2 dice for cavalry, -1 dice for artillery. Battling out of it, cavalry, nothing for infantry, -2 for cavalry, -1 for artillery. It does block line of sight. Infantry may form square in a walled garden, and the defenders ignore 1 flag, it says.
Okay.
Okay, so it's all folks at home should be able to see. There's the thing for it kind of in the middle of the sheet. Where's my finger? Right there.
It counts as forest artillery, or it counts as forest. So for artillery, that's -1 die. At 2 hexes, that's going to be 1 die, or I could do 2 hexes into the woods. I'm going to actually shoot into these woods, Henry, at your lights in the woods.
So this one right here next to the foot battery, or the horse battery. Sorry, the horse battery, rather.
Yes, sir.
At 2 hexes distance. Okay, buddy.
So that's 1 die. I'm looking for a blue. There's a blue.
Oh, blimmin' heck. You're having a lot of success today.
I want to make sure they're not rounded or something.
Okay.
All right.
So what
else? That's my turn. That's it for me. I'm going to go ahead and make a little discard pile there. I'll draw a card.
Okay.
I look forward to your orders.
To my riposte. Okay, well. Oh, that's kind of put a crimp in my day there, Jay.
Good.
Oh, he's so nice, isn't he? Okay, right. I'm going to do something quite interesting. Because if I don't, I think I'm a ninny. Okay, I have a card here.
Mary, real quick, Benito says, note the leader have to check each time you make a casualty. In this case, should have checked also in first fire. Benito, I did check. I rolled the 2 dice because he was with his unit still, and there was no casualty.
Correct. Yep. Okay. All right, folks. So I'm doing an attack center.
Oh.
Right. Now, what that means is as follows. First of all, because I think they need a bit of bolstering, my guy here who's now on his own, I'm issuing, because he's in the, we should point out to people who haven't played Commands of Colours, I suppose. Can you see the dotted lines running here, folks? That indicates to me left, centre, and right. And obviously, J's the opposite for him, left, centre, right. And the cards, like attack centre, that means I can issue orders to units that are in the centre section or on one of those hexes that's kind of sliced in half by that dotted line. Okay? So I'm going to do attack center, which is issuing orders to 3 units or leaders in the center. It's one of the most straightforward cards in the deck, actually. It's pretty boring. So I'm going to take this leader and I'm going to go and bolster the morale of these guys who are up the front. A bit of a bold move, but he's actually going to go and sit just behind the woods here so he can influence these units. Okay? So that's my first order. My second order is I'm going to shoot this unit at that artillery that's next to me, that foot artillery. So light infantry, Prussian light infantry, roll, I think it's 1 die per block plus 1 die. So that's got 4 blocks. So I'm going to roll 5 dice, guys.
Before you roll, Henry, just to make sure you move to the leader, that's 1 unit. You're going to shoot with those guys, that's 2 units. Was there another unit you were going to do something with?
I'm going to shoot with this other unit here as well.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So,
sure, because for folks watching at home or wherever they happen to be with their mobile device, you have to declare all of your movement before you do any of your... You have to declare and execute all of your movement before you do any of your combat.
Okay. Right, so I've got a box, and so 5 dice, 1 artillery block obliterated. Okay, got that? So one of these is off. Sadly, the other blocks were irrelevant. So that's how easy the combat is, folks. If you're watching at home, so I'm shooting at artillery, so I needed to roll artillery. So that was rubbish, wasn't it? I suppose the other question is, Jay, good point. Does that count as shooting or does that count as melee because we're in adjacent hexes?
Adjacent is melee.
So would I have hit with anything else? I don't think so. Swords.
Well, for one thing, you wouldn't have rolled that many dice.
I wouldn't have rolled that many dice. Do you want me to do it again?
No, that's fine.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. But what it would have, swords and flags would have counted. But yes, I would have rolled 1 less dice, I believe. Should have only rolled 4 dice there, guys, because I was right next to him. Yeah, all 1 die. Okay. So sorry about that, Jay. So here, these light infantry guys are going to take on they're going to shoot at the artillery.
Okay.
Who shot at them. So they will roll 4 dice because there's only 3 blocks left in that unit. And again, I'm looking for artilleries. Okay, folks. 3 flags.
Oh no. Oh no.
3 flags, but that's on. Yeah, it is. That's yeah. That's apply 1 retreat. So you got 3 retreats on that artillery, mate.
Well, shoot.
Well, that's kind of routed off the board, then, isn't it?
Yep. Bye.
Bye. Oh, I'm happy about that. The horse artillery got a real peppering there, guys. In between, so while you're thinking about your next move, because that's me done for that move, oh buddy. So I need to put that on my discard pile, which I'll put over there. I'll draw a card from the top of the pack, which I'll cry about, but never mind. Since we're going to talk a bit about men's health, Jay.
Well, yeah, let's do that real quick. Now, those who follow Henry know that he has been very forthcoming and forthright about his own concerns, and concerns have turned into an actual diagnosis of prostate cancer, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think, Henry has posted some very, very honest and frank videos talking about what that whole process of getting checked out and getting tested involves, and all the rest. And it's a pretty scary situation, to put it lightly.
Disconcerting, because the fact is, and this is one of the strange things about this particular form of the disease, I don't feel ill. But lo and behold, the blood test, what's called a PSA, prostate-specific antigen blood test, and then what's laughingly called a digital examination, nothing to do with fancy electronic devices, everything to do with the doctor shoving a digit up your backside. That revealed abnormalities. The PSA test was borderline. It wasn't actually that high, but then that, together with the digital examination, meant that I got referred to a urologist who did another digital examination and then referred me for an MRI scan. And the MRI scan confirmed that there was an abnormality on my prostate. And so that then resulted in a biopsy. A biopsy, for those of you who don't know, means that they take some tissue samples. So I had this team of guys tunneling up my backside, taking tissue samples from my prostate. And the upshot of that, once the results came back, was the confirmation that, in fact, I do have prostate cancer. I have what's known as locally advanced prostate cancer, which is to say that the cancer, unfortunately, is growing fairly quickly. Some of the cells are growing very quickly. It's spread from outside my prostate gland into one of the nearby lymph nodes. So what that means is that, and this is why you can't trust the blood test alone, because if you'd just taken that, I had a score of 7.7 on the PSA blood test, which would say, oh, okay, that's borderline. All right, we ought to look into it, but it shouldn't be anything major. But in fact, the biopsy has shown that the correlation between the PSA blood test and the actual condition of the disease, it can't be relied upon, which is one of the worrying things about prostate cancer. It's a very tricky thing to get a correct diagnosis for. And so, a lot of people think, well, if your PSA score is only 7.7, there's probably nothing to worry about. Ha! Wrong. The upshot of all the treatment of the diagnosis procedures has been that actually my prostate cancer is a lot more advanced than would otherwise be thought to be the case. So obviously that came as a real shock. And So the next stage, well, they immediately put me on some hormone tablets, what are called anti-androgens. One of the things with prostate cancer, Jay, is that it's very much linked to testosterone production. And so what they do as the very first line of defense is they put you on tablets that knock back your testosterone levels significantly, which should, because basically the cancer seems to feed on the testosterone, right? It's because obviously prostate cancer is a male-only disease. Women don't have a prostate gland. It's a male-only disease, and it's very much linked to your testosterone levels. So the hormone tablets are designed to kind of kick back your testosterone levels to start controlling the growth of the cancer immediately. And then, because of the level of my cancer, there's a score called a Gleason score, Jay. A Gleason score it comes in two halves. The first half is basically the score that averages what most of the cells in the biopsies, how fast they were growing. And mine was 4. This is out of 5, by the way. 4 out of 5, which is like, yeah, they're growing fairly quickly. Then the other half of the score is how fast are the ones that they found that are growing the fastest. And in my case, I got the top score. I got a 5, Jay, which sounds like an achievement in any other space in your life. But in this case, it's like, fail. So that means they then add those two scores together. So you get a 4 + 5 = 9. And there's only one score worse than that, which is a 10. So that's an indication, folks, that, they needed to act quickly. So what the next thing that's happening is that they are going to, tomorrow morning, I'm going for my first hormone reduction injection. Now, what this is a much more powerful brew, and it's also what's called a deposit injection. So instead of me having to take a tablet every day, the injection kind of replaces that. And I will have one injection about every 2 or 3 months, I think it is. So it's a big walloping great, I don't know. I'm imagining this kind of vast vat of stuff being poured into my arm. Yeah. But the idea is that that's supposed to last me, 2 or 3 months. But obviously what that probably means is that the side effects of that are going to be significant. Even with the tablets, I'm pretty certain I've had my first couple of hot flushes. And that's kind of weird. So I'm feeling like a menopausal lady, which is strange. And there can be other weird side effects like hair growth slows right down. So I'm cut down on the shaving bill, Jay. That would be good. Right. I may get sensitive breasts and fatigue and all sorts of other things. It's going to be, I'm quite excited to find out, Jay. It's going to be a laugh a minute, I'm sure. So, but anyway, there we go. So then I actually have to keep taking the tablets literally for the first couple of weeks, because apparently when you get the first one of these injections, strangely and counterintuitively, it can make your PSA level and testosterone suddenly spike, right? So they actually it's almost like the body kind of reacts against it and says, you horrible thing, stop invading me with all these lady hormones. I'm a man, really, and here's some extra testosterone to prove it. So what you have to do is carry on taking the tablets for the first couple of weeks after this first injection, and the tablets kind of control that reaction. So then you stop taking the tablets and you just carry on with the injections. And so over time, they will should bring my PSA level down to 0. That's what they're looking for. But also that means in amongst that, probably my testosterone is going to fall to next to 0. So it's going to be a very strange world that I'm going to be inhabiting for what might be the next 2 to 3 years. That's what I'm told. So this is a long-term thing. Now, the others, so that's kind of the idea is that this is going to, that in itself doesn't kill the cancer, doesn't cure the cancer. It just controls its growth and hopefully might make it shrink back a bit. Because then there's a number of other forms of treatment that get applied to me. The first of which is radiotherapy, which is obviously you get zapped with Chernobyl waves, right? You get zapped with radioactive waves, but that won't start probably for about 3 or 4 months. They're reckoning that won't start until I think it's end of March, beginning of April, something like that, because they want to give the hormone therapy as much time as possible to work before they then start doing the radiotherapy, because they want to basically minimize. If you imagine the cancer at this moment is that size, they want to try and shrink it back to that kind of size to minimize the actual area that they're going to be zapping with the radiotherapy, right? Which makes sense. The other thing they might put me on, I'm considered a borderline case, but it has now come up in conversations. I have to take a deep breath. It is a distinct possibility, is chemotherapy. And obviously chemotherapy is where they pump you full of basically poison. The idea being that, yes, it poisons you, but it poisons the cancer more. And with each dose, hopefully the cancer is less and less able to recover from it, and your body is better able to recover from it, till eventually your body wins and the cancer loses. That's the basic idea, and it's pretty brutal. You know, on my last video, I likened it to, yeah, well, the hormone therapy is the infantry. But they're going to send in not only the cavalry, but the heavy artillery as well. Right. So that's kind of what's coming. The other thing that's coming up this coming week, I'm going to have a bone scan. They do a full body bone scan, which is a way of double checking that the cancer hasn't spread outside that lymph node, hasn't got into my bones. There may also be a CT scan of my chest and abdomen as well. So I'm going to be doing a lot of lying in white metal tubes with flashing, blinking lights and funny noises over the coming months. So that's the story, folks. So it's going to be a bit of a journey. So I'm likely to be on radiotherapy until, where are we, next summer, kind of June, July, that kind of time. But the hormone treatment will continue. The chemotherapy, I'm waiting to hear. And obviously, I think we all know what the side effects of chemotherapy can be, your hair falling out and all that kind of stuff. So obviously, I'm not keen on that. But what can you do? You just got to take a deep breath and get on with it.
Right.
So that's my story, Jay. But I gather you've begun a little journey of your own, buddy.
Yeah. Long story short, I've been having some problems myself. In that same neighborhood, about 6-7 months, didn't think much of it, just getting older. And then between you discussing your issues and me having an acute issue, I decided, okay, I gotta see a doctor. So I saw a doctor Friday, and some of the problems I've been having recently are directly attributable to a urinary tract infection. So I'm on antibiotics for that.
All right.
And in the meantime, I've got an appointment with a urologist here in about 2 weeks' time.
Yeah.
And the best part of that, I'll be seeing Dr. Cockrell.
Really?
You can't make
Wow.
No.
Yeah.
Zero. Yeah.
Yes. So
Well, good luck with that.
yeah. So on Twitter, I noticed Professor Tony Pollard went and got checked also, and he's clear of cancer, but he tweeted with the hashtag "Don't die of fear," and I think that's important that men of a certain age get checked. Basically, I'm 45. And you probably need to start getting serious about it at about my age and older.
Yeah.
And I actually considered, I started feeling better a little bit on Thursday and thought, maybe I don't need to have an appointment. I can I'll be okay. And I decided, no, I need to go ahead and get in.
Yeah.
So, yeah, don't
Better
die
safe-
of fear, gents. Get checked.
Yeah, don't die of fear, don't die of ignorance.
Right.
Just get yourself checked. I mean, because most of the time, initially, if you just go to your general practitioner, they probably won't even necessarily run the PSA blood test. They probably just do the digital examination, if you get my drift. And they can tell a lot, because prostate cancer, if anyone's got prostate cancer or prostatitis, which is a non-cancerous kind of growth, they can feel it. Right? They've done this thousands of times. There's nothing to be embarrassed about. It's just, you know what? Drop your kicks, lie down on the bench on your side. They'll grease up the finger, with a good bit of lard, and up they go. And it's a matter of a minute, right? That's all it takes, and that can save your life.
Yep.
Or confirm that actually you're fine. There's nothing to worry about.
Exactly.
But some of the things that you'll spot, first of all, and the only thing I spotted, like I said, I don't feel ill. I had just noticed a slight change in my urine flow in the last 6 to 12 months. I was because I'm type 2 diabetic, so I was having a check with my nurse, a follow-up for the blood they'd taken for the type 2 diabetes. And the specialist nurse that I see just goes through a whole load of extra questions because I'm 58, and so they check, and it's brilliant. Hey, because of one of the questions, which was simply, have you noticed anything else you want to report? And I just said, oh well, funnily enough, yes. And you should always, of course, be completely honest with your medical practitioner. And she said, oh well, maybe we'll just run the PSA test. And because of that, well, bluntly, it could have saved my life, So anyway, so that's that. But guys, absolutely, in terms of the physical health, because we'll probably talk later a bit about mental health issues, but in terms of the physical health aspect, just get yourself checked. As you say, Tony Pollard, I think he got himself checked for bowel cancer.
Mm-hmm.
I think he had to do a poo on a stick or something like that. Whereas you and I have got slightly different issues, but it's all the same thing. Crikey. And particularly with prostate cancer, black guys are more susceptible to it earlier than white guys. For some bizarre genetic reason, apparently people from Oriental backgrounds are at very limited risk of prostate cancer. It's just one of those weird tricks of genetics. But black guys are even more susceptible to it at an earlier age than white guys. So for them, I would say 40 to 45. And guys, if you're a white guy, 50 to 55, get yourself checked.
Yep, absolutely. So,
right.
in keeping the spirit of our conversation, going to probe left flank.
Before you probe your left flank, I've got to say something, because I've got to reply to Nick. If Nick, you're watching, look what I've just dug out just because of your comment.
Yeah.
Box lid.
There you go.
See, I forgot I got one of these. So, hey, back to you, Jay.
I noticed that Nick isn't offering a GoFundMe to get me a box or a dice tray. Thanks.
£5 on eBay, mate.
So we're probing the left flank.
Oh, right. Okay.
So this foot artillery will be firing at melee, which is going to be pretty nasty, on your lights here. And then I got to do something about that.
Lard them up and push them through.
That's right. This foot artillery is going to move. Yeah. Yeah, so that's it. So the full foot artillery unit moved up and to the right, Henry.
So
my right, your left.
Okay. So it's just between those two hills. Yep.
Yep. And then this foot artillery is going to stand, and we're going to have a whiff of grape shot into the forest here.
Yeah, which is actually effectively melee, though, isn't it?
Yes. So it's going to be 4 dice. Shooting into forest, I'm at -1 die. So it's going to be 3 dice.
3 dice.
He said as he spied his own dice tray here in the bunker.
Huzzah.
Oh, right, cool.
I got a banner,
Which is a retreat,
which is a retreat for you.
which I ignore because I've got an adjacent leader, correct?
I think the leader has to be in the unit.
Oh, does he?
Well, let's check the rules.
I can never remember that.
Bolster morale. The unit may disregard 1 flag. This is on page 13. This is the 2012 printing. A unit may disregard 1 flag when the leader is attached to the unit
Oh, poo.
or supported by 2 or more friendly units. They are not supported by 2
Well,
or more friendly.
does the leader count as a friendly unit?
No.
Oh. Hang on. My light infantry, however, I retreat 1 hex per flag, and it's the grenadiers who can ignore a flag.
Yep.
Oh, that's sad. Well, they're going to go back into the hex where the leader is then.
Fair
oh
enough.
boy.
Fair
Oh,
enough.
well done, you. That was a bit horrible, but you didn't kill any,
No.
so that's all right. I can live with that. Right. Okay. So was that it?
Yeah, that's it. I'll grab another one.
Okay, bud. So it's going to be my turn.
Yep.
And don't forget, folks, all this time, Jay should completely whip my ass because he's got 5 command cards and I've only got 4.
Oh, Per Broden is checking in. He says, "Hi, gents. Hello, Per."
Hi, Per. Oh, yeah, I can see him at the bottom of the comments there. Hi, Per. Hello. It's Nick, it's dice tray overload now. You're quite right, mate. So let's have a look. Oh, my goodness me. I've got a very strange lump of cards here, really. Right, okay. It's going to be sensibly. We're going to keep the action in that state. I'm going to do probe center.
All right.
Got me? There we go. Everything's counterintuitive here because it's that way. Yes, okay. Right, probe center, which is issue an order to 2 units or leaders in the center. Well, the leader's with that unit now. So what's going to happen is I'm going to be really irritating, and that leader is going to go back into those woods with those guys, and we're going to attack the artillery. That makes sense?
Sure.
And the other order I'm going to give is to this other light infantry unit who now are going to turn their attention, why not, to that unit of light cavalry with your leader. That's probably a very foolish thing to do, but what the heck? Because I'm right next to him. It doesn't. It's annoying because light infantry obviously are usually best at sniping at a bit of a distance, but I've got no choice here because the way the game's set up, you're right next to me. Anyway, let's start with my leader and the guys against your artillery. So we this time 4 dice. Okay, are we ready, folks? So I want guns, flags, or swords.
I
I just wiped out your unit, Jay.
2
artillery, buddy. Okay.
Benito's asking, Can you move horse artillery 1 hex and fire? It doesn't matter. That's foot artillery.
Yeah, that's foot artillery. We wiped out his horse artillery. It ran away. So I blatted Jay's artillery, folks. I'm kind of happy about that. Now,
To answer the question, yes, that is the case. Horse artillery may move 1 hex and fire.
Yep. What I was going to point out, technically, because I blatted his artillery in that hex, I could follow up into that hex, couldn't I?
Please do.
But I don't want to. Because
They're
I want to leave my guys in cover there. Thank you very much.
Aren't they classified as impetuous?
No.
Aren't they heavy, light, cataphract infantry or something like that?
Anyway, so I get a banner, folks. I win a banner. Yay! Comes over to my side of the board. So that makes honors even, doesn't it? It does.
No, you've got that temporary banner for...
And the temporary banner. Yeah, that's right. So I'm winning.
Well, you got the banner for the horse artillery going away.
Oh, God, yes, I should have had that. Thank you, Jay. Very gentlemanly of you to remind me. So I have 2 banners plus a temporary banner, which is cool. Now, this is where my light infantry here are going to do a thing with your light cavalry. This is going to be interesting. I've only got 3 dice here, and I need cavalry symbols and stuff. Let's have a look. Ready? 1 cavalry dead and 1 retreat. But of course, you ignore the retreat because your boss guy is with you.
Yes.
Okay, but I've taken off a block.
And I get to fight back.
Battle back. Now, that's interesting because I'm in the woods, aren't I?
Okay, so I'll get 3 dice normally. However, unfortunately...
-2 for cavalry.
I know. Bastards.
So you only get 1 die.
1 die. You want to transfer to mine?
Technical director.
Cross swords!
So that is a kill, isn't it?
That's a hit.
But it's only 1, so that's fine. I can live with that, buddy. 1 light infantry guy comes off. That was my turn. So that goes on the discard pile, and I take a deep breath and draw another card. Ooh, good. Okay, right. Cool. Right. Someone dooply booped me while I was talking to you. Who dooply booped me? Ooh, okay.
Okay. Damn. Wait. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. All right. We're going to execute a forced march. Issue an order to all infantry. Oh, damn it. Damn. Oh, well. I'll go with it. All infantry units in 1 section, light grenadier guard infantry units and infantry units with an attached leader may move up to 2 hexes and battle. This is not going to be nearly as impressive as I had hoped.
Right, say that again.
All infantry units in 1 section.
Oh.
So they can move up to 2 hexes and battle.
Yeah.
Or they can move 2 hexes and not battle, or 1 hex and not battle, or any combination thereof.
Okay, well, this is an opportunity for you to move an entire brigade forward, isn't it?
Yeah, but dummy me, I kind of got a little hopeful there and didn't realize where the boundary was. But that's okay. We'll do this, though. They'll move there. They'll move there. And they'll move there.
Right, hang on. So let me...
They're all moving over. Yep, just like that.
So 1 set next to the woods here.
Yep.
Like that. And like that?
Yep.
Is that right?
Yep.
And what is that? And this other unit is just staying where it is on the baseline.
Yep. He can't do anything. He's in the center section.
Okay. So, and your leader is with the one that's not next to the woods, but the next one along.
In the middle, yes.
Okay. Okay. That's cool. This is where I'm noticing it would be quite useful if these hexes had grid coordinates on them, wouldn't it?
Well, I wrote, and I should have told you that I did write some coordinates on my board, and because this is A1 down here, and this would be I-13 up here.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to extrapolate that out real quickly in your head, and we'll go from there.
No, it's just easier for me to look at. Yeah, I don't think I've got the energy for extrapolation tonight, mate. I know you're big into extrapolation, but
all right. So my line is going to attack your line or your lights in the forest there. So my line melee, I'm going to get 5 dice because I get +1 for melee against infantry. But I'm going to be -1 for fighting into forest.
Yeah.
So I'll be at 4 dice.
Yeah.
Get my Tray of Death here.
Tray of Death. Da, da, da.
Well, I got a flag that you could ignore.
Yep.
And I got a blue. And
yep.
Don't count sabers. Oh no, I do count sabers. I do count sabers in melee, so that's 2.
2 infantry dead.
And that's a cavalry over here, so we'll ignore those.
Okay. Right, so I can battle back.
Yep. Go ahead and go to
which I might as well do before I get completely mollered. That's horrible. Thank you very much for that. Light infantry.
Hold on a second. I get a chance to kill your leader also.
Oh goodness me!
I'm looking for
tedious.
2 cross swords. Ah, no, not today.
Oh, thank God for that. Okay, so I now battle back with 1 die per block.
Yep.
And it's just a straight thing because I'm out of the woods, not into woods. So that's a shame because I'm down to half strength now, which is a bummer. I kill an infantry.
You got 1.
I did. It all counts. Okay, and are you now going to attack me again with your other line infantry?
They can't. They're not. They weren't in the left section.
Oh, good point. Yes. Oh,
no,
thank God.
What I had hoped to have done was move these guys up here and then have attack from 3 sides, but that dummy me, I didn't realize where that unit was.
Okay, buddy.
That's okay. Ah!
So that was your turn?
Yes.
Wow.
That's
okay,
it.
folks. I survived another turn. So let's have a look. What can I do here? This is all very... Oh, what can I do there? Can't do that. Can't do that. Can't do that. So that means... Well, I could do that, but that would be really foolish. Oh, if only you could see my hand, you would laugh yourself to sleep, old boy. I think, because I'm being... Because one of the things, for people who haven't played this game, there's as much to do with your hand management, the cards in your hand, as much as there is to do with, you know, your attacking spirit or anything. And sometimes you have to make some really difficult choices about what card to use in your hand. So basically, you can just get rid of it and hopefully then draw a better card. It's also very limiting when you, trust me, when you only have 4 cards in your hand.
Real quick while you're thinking about this, Paris says, I just came to say hi. Hope the game comes to an agreeable conclusion. Have fun. Also, thanks for the update. My fingers crossed for both of you. Thank you very much indeed.
Cheers, pair. Thanks, buddy. Okay. Right. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a hang on that way flank attack.
Ah.
2 units on each flank. 2 units or leaders on each flank. This flank obviously is pretty rubbish. Because I've only got 1 unit on this flank. But I've got this method in my madness. I know it doesn't look like it, but I needed to get rid of that card, is the honest thing. So what I'm going to do, this unit, which is a line infantry unit, which has a movement of 1, is going to do something really strange. It's going to just do that and move out the back of that redoubt for the time being. Over on this flank, I have far more units. Now, what's the range from this artillery in the redoubt? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's a foot artillery unit. I'm going to take a long-range pot shot with that.
Okay.
Which would give it only 1 dice, of course. And I'm also going to shoot with this artillery at the same unit. I'm adjudicating that obviously I can't quite see these guys because there's that wood in the way. Whoops. Yep. But I can clearly see them. So it's going to be 1 dice from this battery on them. And on this thing, it's 1, 2, 3 hexes, which is 2 dice. So a total of 3 artillery dice against them. Okay?
Okay.
So let's do that.
Just going to roll them both at once.
Yeah, might as well.
Okay. Fair enough.
3 dice. And they get 1 retreat.
Oh.
And they do have to retreat because they've only got 1 person adjacent and the leader's not in their hex. Plus there was 2 infantry dead.
Yep.
So
nice.
2 dead blocks and a retreat. How far do your guys have to retreat, Jay?
1.
So where do you want them to go? That hex or that hex?
To your right.
So that one there in the center section.
Yep.
Okay, buddy. That's where they are. So that wasn't too bad. That was actually better than I was expecting.
Actually, you know what? Go left. I'm sorry. Let's go left.
Okay, buddy. Yeah, whatever you like. So that's in that
Let's
section
do that.
there. And I draw a fresh card from the top of the deck. Okay. Right.
So, do you think the cards make or break the game?
Nick says, chaps, do you think the cards make or break the game? Currently,
yeah, they do. It has to be said they do dominate the game, don't they?
Yeah, it's for good or ill. It definitely causes one to focus where one would rather not focus.
Yeah, exactly. I think what it means, they can really break up the flow of the game.
Yeah.
Or they can mean that the entire game can focus around one part of the battlefield. I mean, obviously, for a stretch there, we had a couple of moves where everything was kind of down here, whereas if in your own head you want to do something different, then you need to think laterally. I mean, the fact is, with every single card, pretty much it's okay. You can do what it says on the card, or I think it is you can move 1 unit of your choice in any section or something, isn't it? Or I can't remember.
Yeah, it depends on the card. Depends on what the card says.
Yeah. But there can be a lot of times when you think, well, actually, I don't really want to do that.
Yeah.
And obviously, what I could probably have said, you know what, I don't want to issue an order to this unit. I was just demonstrating it because it's actually what's on the card. I could have said, you know what, I'll just take the one order that applied to the other section. But just for giggles, I've done that.
Yeah. I think the main thing that the cards do is it definitely allows for friction, that's for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. If I'm not sure how I would change it though.
Friction like a brake pad.
It's such an integral component of the game, isn't it, Jay?
Right.
That if you take
anything, I don't know if simply saying, well, just ignore the sections or what, but I don't know. That's a good question. But at the same time, I don't look at it as it is more of a game than a war game.
Yes.
If that makes sense. And I'm okay with that because I still get and I go back to when I was playing Ancients heavily. I was playing with my friend Eric every Friday night for about 4 months and 4 or 5 months, and we would play scenario. We'd play a scenario with us playing each side in turn and getting 2 plays in, setting up and tearing down and chatting, done in 3 hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, it's a lot of fun though. Frustrating as it might be, it is a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is. I think the other thing is that if you you have to think about it in kind of an abstract way, and the cards are kind of like because particularly in the horse and musket and ancient era, you're the general, and you might have a thought in your head about the way you'd like the battle to go, but as you say, friction interrupts. So your courier gets lost. His horse is lame. Just doesn't get you might be sitting there thinking, God, I really want to do something on my left flank. Why is no one moving on the left flank? You only have to read a few history books about actual battles and the frustration that real generals have had about what they wanted to happen not happening. You don't have to look very far,
right,
to see dozens and dozens of examples of precisely that. So you do have to take it kind of with a pinch of salt and say, well, don't blow your commands and colours pieces. If there's dust on them, don't try to blow it off. You can always rationalise it after the event, I find. However frustrating it's been for you. I think the only time I get cheesed off with it, Jay, is if you feel like I really wasn't beaten by the great tactics of the other guy. I was just beaten by the cards and the die rolls.
Well, don't worry, Henry. You'll see no great tactics here. Well, let's get moving. Nick, if that doesn't satisfy you, let us know and we'll expound some more. I might also add that we've got a full. I've got a full discussion of commands and colors with the Neil and Mike on a previous episode of the podcast, my podcast.
Right.
Nick gives a thumbs up and says agreed. It's integral and it's a good game.
Yes. Okay.
Absolutely.
So I'll do another force march.
Oh.
This time on my right.
How come you pinched all the good cards out of my deck, despite the fact that you're on the other side of the Atlantic?
I used John Tuffley's wormhole generator. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I can move up to 2, and I will.
Right, let me pay attention. So
in battle. So my line infantry with the leader is now to the right of the hill, or the walled garden, or whatever that is. The church. It's the church, isn't it?
Yep.
And the other to the left.
Okay, so the one with the leader is not next to my artillery.
Correct.
It's next to the walled garden on the other side. Okay, yeah. And then you're bringing up the full unit to the left behind there.
Yep.
And the partial unit is keeping up as... Oh, it's going out there. Oh, cheeky boy, going out toward the woods with the partial unit.
Yep.
Oh, cheeky boy. Ooh.
Okay, so we'll start with my left, your right, and we'll try to attack the hill, or not the hill,
Walled garden.
the church.
The church. Oh, church. Now.
Yep.
Now, was there a thing for church? Church. Is there a church and walled farm? Okay, so you're battling into it. You are -2 dice.
Okay. So that's going to give me 3 dice then.
Okay, I will point out to the viewers that it's going to be. Where is the camera? There's the camera. I can just tiny one of that. It's that line next to the finger there. Can you see, guys? Yeah. Whoa! Look at that.
So
there you go, folks.
2 for infantry fighting in.
Yep.
Benito is bringing up these 2 dice.
So you must stop, and it's -2 dice fighting in. Good job. You're not trying to get in with cavalry.
Benito makes some points about combining the artillery. Basically, what if you had rolled a flag on the first fire, and then the second fire would change the range of the fire. So that's on you, Henry. You have to live with yourself now.
Do I?
Yeah. The results didn't change anything, so we're okay.
Okay.
All right, so 3 dice attacking the hill, or the church.
Church. 3 dice. Which unit?
The one on your right, my left.
So that should only have 2 dice.
Why
because
is that?
it's -2 to get into a church.
Yeah, it's line infantry. They're +1 versus infantry.
Oh, okay. Okay, buddy.
I got a flag and a kill.
A flag and a kill, but I think the kill applies, but I ignore 1 flag when I'm in a church.
Only if it's a Lutheran church, which it probably would be, granted.
Yeah. Okay, so now I can battle back, and I get my full dice component, which is going to be 3 dice because I am line. Oh no, it's 4 dice, isn't it? Because I'm line infantry. Yeah, 1 die per block plus 1 die versus infantry. So I get 4 dice battling out.
5.
5 P5 So let me do a brutal rattly. Are we ready? Lots of blues, please. So that's 1 dead infantry and 1 retreat. Of course, you ignore the retreat because your leader is with them.
Yes.
Okay. So let's stack up those blue casualties.
Okay.
So you're attacking them with the other infantry as well?
No, I'm going to attack the foot artillery. So I get 4 dice.
Oh, hang on. I didn't battle back. Oh, yes, I did. Just did. Sorry, being thick.
It's all right.
I'm going to hang you.
Will attack the artillery.
Okay, buddy.
Get in the camera.
Oh, yeah.
Major fail, please.
Reds, baby. Reds and sabers.
Go away.
Flag will be nice. A couple of flags, even.
Go away. Get a load of yellows.
2 reds and a saber.
Seriously? Oh, my goodness
I'm
me.
dying.
Oh, my goodness me. You've just blatted the whole damn unit.
Yep.
Right. Okay, so you get a flag over there. Ouch. Don't like that. You can stop that as soon as you like. Did you want to follow up into that hex or stay where you are?
Oh. Probably. Oh, man. Decisions. Hmm. What shall I do? What shall I do? Yeah, I think. Yeah, I'll go ahead and follow up.
Okay.
Follow up. Ah, no,
No?
nope,
Sure.
nope.
Back we go.
No, I'm gonna stay there. I'm gonna stay there. I get a little overly aggressive in this game, and it bites me in the ass every time.
Okay. Whatever you say, big man.
So, all right. So that's that. That's not a bad turn for me.
Not a bad turn for you, indeed. Right. Okay. All right. So I'm going to do an interesting little quirky one here. I've got. Hang on. Where's the camera? There it is. Recon in force. 1 unit in each section. So, guess what's going to happen over here on the right? Yes, this unit's moving back into the redoubt. They just went for a walk. They were feeling a bit of cramp. So they just decided to have a bit of, let's go out for a bit of fresh air, and we better come back in because there's a rumor. There's a rumor that some French might be around somewhere. So then we've got one in the center. Well, I think this is, oh gosh. Now that's really interesting.
I'll be right back.
All right.
That's really, really interesting. Okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to attack with this infantry.
Okay.
Oh. No, I'm not. I'm going to hang on. I'm going to shut up is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to think about this.
Benito is taking his leave. He says, I'm leaving, guys, 9:30 p.m. here, and wife is waiting to have dinner. Good luck. Enjoy, Benito. Gracias.
Gracias, Benito. Buenas noches. Okay, I'm going to attack with these guys out of the church at them with 4 dice.
Okay.
Okay, so they on that flank, they moved it back into the redoubt. Here in the center, they're going to attack out. And then on this flank,
Yep.
I am going to... I tell you what I'm going to do on this flank. I'm actually going to use the grenadiers who are on the borderline.
Okay.
And they're going to advance 1 hex.
Okay.
Because I think that's all they can advance, isn't it? Bless their hearts. They're going to move up slightly in support. Right. So out here, 4 dice because it's 3, and they add 1 because they're line infantry, Prussians being butch. Okay. So I want 3 blues and then to kill your leader. That's what I want. Well, there's 1 blue, so I've whittled you down another block. And a retreat, which sadly you get to ignore.
Oh, you forgot to try to kill my leader last turn.
Oh, right. So it's 1 dice and I need a sword, isn't it?
No, it's 2 dice and you need 2 swords.
2 dice, 2. Oh, that's right. So it's equivalent of
little wibbly wobbly timey-wimey stuff.
Okay, here we go. So, and now do I do it again for this turn?
Yes, please.
Okay, come on, 2 swords. Oh! I think I've rolled so many cavalry symbols there that one of your cavalrymen randomly just falls over dead.
No, I think you've just killed Ravo's horse. But being French, they're eating it.
Exactement. Zut alors. So did you want to battle back mon ami?
Of course.
There?
Of course. So that's going to be
I tell you what I didn't do. I said I was going to move the grenadiers. I didn't actually move them, did I? So sorry.
It's all right.
They need to be there. They're going there.
Where they are.
Okay.
So
you battling back?
Yes. So it's going to be 3 dice for me. No,
But
2 dice. +1 for infantry, -1 for the church.
-2 for the church, but
1 die back then.
yeah.
Roll the flag.
I can't see a thing.
Ah.
And I ignore the flag anyway.
Oh, well, there you go.
Okay. So that was my move.
Yep.
So I bung that in there and I pick up a new card and oh, for goodness me, who shuffled these cards? Okay. Okay, buddy.
Okay. I think what we'll do now is we're going to attack right flank. That's 3 units on the right.
Oh. You're going for the church again?
Yeah. So these
So
guys
you've
move
got
up
the
here.
partial infantry unit, that infantry unit, and that infantry unit.
Yeah.
So what you doing, buddy? So that infantry unit's come up to
Come
the
around,
side here.
They've moved up and they've moved
And
up.
that's moved into the slot.
Yep.
And the little infantry unit on its own has come up to in between there in the woods.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. All right.
Make sure we're on the same page. Yep. Okay. All right. So, let's do this first. Let's have my center unit go first. Actually, we'll have let's have my left, your right go first with their 1 die.
With the leader.
With the leader.
Okay.
Another banner that they ignore. Now you get to fight back. Damn it.
So I fight back with, what was it, 90 dice? 4 dice.
Ugh.
Right, come on, let's obliterate you. Oh! Oh! Buddy, that unit is toast. And the leader, now on his own, now the leader on his own, I need to roll 1 sword, don't I?
Yeah.
Yes!
Ah!
I think there's many a loud cry of murder. Who was that I just killed? Who was that?
DeVoe.
Really? Or Devu even? I've killed Devu? Oh my goodness.
Revo.
Oh, Rivo.
Ah.
Wow. That was spectacular.
Well, that sucks.
Sorry, buddy.
That's my own damn fault. All right, moving right along.
Terribly sorry, Alvin.
All right. 3 dice against this stupid church.
Who's
Take off
fighting?
this side from orbit. It's the only way to be sure.
All right. Is it these guys now?
Yeah, on your right, my left.
Yeah. The one that's on the borderline there, yeah.
Yeah. Damn it.
3 dice. Okay.
Ah, nothing. 2 cav and a flag.
Terribly sorry about that, old bean.
So are you gonna battle back or no?
Okay. That's a good question. Here's the thing in Command Cards. Am I allowed to battle back against every unit that attacks?
Yes. We've had this.
In which case, yes, I'm battling back. Okay, we ready?
Unpainted Lead Syndrome says, Henry, who shuffled those cards?
Yeah, I saw that.
Jay, who rolled those dice?
Are we ready to rock?
Ugh.
Oh, that's 2 dead, Jay.
That's all right.
2 dead. Oh,
Yeah.
hang on. I need a banner, don't I? Gosh.
You need
Do I
two
get-
banners because you killed the leader also, jerk.
Oh, my goodness me, mate. So you've only got 3 left.
Yes.
Oh, gosh. Sorry about that.
Well, actually, no. You only got to kill 2 more units because you get that temporary for the damn church.
Oh, crikey.
Actually, no. You only got to do 1 because I haven't gotten anybody through the damn your baseline. Because you get a temporary flag for that. You get all the flags.
Well, I don't know about that. I think that sucks. I think I need to kill some more than that, Jay. That would be far too easy. Unless you're saying you're fed up with it already. Anyway, so are you going to attack me with these other buddies here?
Yeah, were you going to battle back?
I did. I killed 2 units off that block.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. You're right.
2 blocks off that unit.
I'm currently getting pissed at Revo for leading this
Yeah.
godforsaken attack.
Because Revo made that decision.
He did, that prick. Got himself killed. Got himself killed. All right, so 3 more dice at these assholes. All right, swords, finally. Or do you ignore swords because you're using the gravestones to battle back or something?
Well, hang on a minute. Should I check? Prussian line infantry.
Ignore swords on Sundays.
Ignore swords on Sunday. It is a Sunday. You're quite right. And it's note 5. You're not light. No. Okay, so you've killed 1 block. Is that?
No, I killed 2.
2.
2.
You have the temerity to kill 2 of my light infantry blocks. All right. Well, I battle back, and now so I'm 1 block, but I'm still +1, so I'm 2 dice.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah.
You're ready to rock and roll. And I kill 1 of your blocks.
Ah.
Whittle you down. I'm still surviving. Tenacious defense. Fantastic defense.
This is one of those situations where if we were actually using miniatures, that battalion would have to get some type of defensive honors.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the guys run a pair of French underpants up their flagpole. No, but on second thoughts, probably not, because probably your French underpants are covered in merde at the moment, aren't they? Hey, what can I say? Right.
Straight out of the fall collection from Monsieur Pissoir.
Exactly. Right. Was that your turn?
Yes.
Yes. And that was it. Oh, bless. Bless. Okay. I've got the most bizarre set of cards in my hand. So, okay. Very, 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 very strange. Okay. So, quite clearly, I'm all right. Okay, this is where I'm going to have to play a card. I don't really want to play, but I'm going to play it anyway. But so attack left flank, 3 units left flank. So that means my grenadiers here are going to charge in and attack your line infantry there. Okay. Then also on this left flank, I've only got 1 other set unit. This artillery is going to shoot at that reduced infantry unit.
Yeah.
So I'll do the shooting first. Okay. So that's a range of 1, 2, 3 hexes for my guns, which means they roll 2 dice.
Okay.
And they're going to get 2 really good things. Okay, ready? In fact, they are. They kill 1, and you get a retreat on the other.
They're within 2 adjacent units, though, so they're bolsters.
Oh, that's true. They can ignore that flag. Oh, you lucky bean. However, my grenadiers. Oh gosh, this is going to be fun because grenadiers roll 1 die per block plus 1 die, and they may ignore 2 flags. So that's 5 dice for the grenadiers. Right, you ready?
No, but go ahead.
5 dice for the grenadiers. Oh, so that's 2, 3 dead, and a flag.
Well, they're dead then.
That unit blatted.
Yep.
So I get a flag.
That's 7, Henry.
Okay, and I will follow up.
That's the game, by the way.
Is it?
Yeah, because you get the temporary banner for holding the church, and you get the temporary banner for no French units across your baseline.
Wow. Gosh. Really?
Yep.
Well, that doesn't. If I follow up, can I fight again just for satisfaction's sake?
Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, far be it from me.
Gosh. Well, that seemed interesting then. So are you actually saying I've won that scenario, Jay?
You have.
Well, that's weird. Well, virtual handshake.
Yes, indeed. Good game.
Now, I think we should do a little post-game analysis there because that seemed too easy.
Well, here's the deal. All I had were right cards.
Right, and here's the deal. All I have left is right cards.
With nothing in the right.
And all I've got is this one unit that's going to be moving in and out of his blooming redoubt until these cards got replaced. So that was amusing. So if I didn't manage to crack you with that last card, I don't know what would have been my next draw. The next draw would have been attack left flank, so it would have been the same again. All right, so I would have had another little chance. But
yeah, that's
wow.
a tough tactical nut to crack if you're French, given the conditions in the scenario.
Yeah, I would say that is incredibly tough because I don't think you've got enough units to do the job, really. That's really tricky because, but I mean, it's sort of weird because I've got a lot of artillery down the back here. What have I got? I've got 1, 2, 3 foot artillery units and 1 horse artillery unit. I've only got 1 puny little light cavalry unit. I don't quite know what you would have to have done. Maybe sent your light cavalry forward if you'd had the chance.
Yeah.
But that is a really tough one, Jay, because I don't think you're going to have enough time to try and dislodge all these units that I've got here in the walled garden and those woods at the front. Yeah. You've got these hills that you've got to try and get over here. The whole terrain with the rivers and everything is funneling you in this way, isn't it? Yeah. So that's kind of interesting. So bad luck, old boy.
Well, no, I mean it's how it goes. I mean that having those units down your unit so far forward. I mean, I had to do something about that.
Yeah.
Plus that church. I mean, and it's one of those situations where even with the right cards, what am I going to do? Send my light cavalry charging all the way across the board and then get slaughtered before they can get across?
Yeah, I think the only thing you can do, because the thing is, your infantry only move 1 hex per turn, don't they? So you've got a long way to go with your infantry.
Yep.
Is it one hex or 2 hexes your infantry can move, mate?
Light infantry can move 2, but they can't battle.
And your line infantry, they only move 1?
Only move
Yeah.
1.
Same as me. So that's a heck of a journey. I mean, you're going to have to... you would have to decide that you're just going to completely bypass my units and try not to get bogged down doing any fighting, and then try and keep your units as intact as you can until you get right up here, because there's no reinforcements in the scenario, are there?
Nope. And even if I were to advance the cavalry that aggressively, I'm still, charged into the face of all that cannonry.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I've got batteries positioned here to basically do a crossfire into this open piece of ground.
Yep.
So, well, that's kind of weird. I think I'm glad we tried this scenario, but I'm not sure it's a scenario I'd particularly rush to play again.
No.
I think that's... I'm not sure how balanced that felt. I think I found that a bit easy. I mean, it's nice, you give me a nice easy run on a Sunday evening. Thank you very much, Governor. But I didn't feel like I had to really fight tooth and claw there.
It's definitely one of those scenarios where you could get 2 goes in an evening.
Yeah. So it has that advantage where under other circumstances, we'd say, all right, well, let's just play another one. As it is, I think I'll go and have a lie down. Thank you very much indeed. But, well, thanks for the game anyway, Jay.
Yeah, this has definitely got me thinking about getting a hold of some of Peter Dennis's flats.
Yes.
I really like the idea because he's got... Well, on his site, he's got those PDFs. He's got some French, and he's got like Württembergers or something like that, doesn't he? League of Augsburg, maybe?
It's something like that, yeah. Whatever, or the Rhinish League or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he's got some very, very lovely Caesarian Romans and Carthaginians as well on his site.
Oh, and his Persians. The Persians he's just been doing on Facebook. I've been posting on the Battle Games Facebook page.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Absolutely stunning work. And it's the speed that he does them at as well, Jay. This is a man who can easily... I mean, did you see the chariots he did?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. And
I could definitely see doing... an Imaginations Ancients with those.
Yeah.
Very easily. And probably using commands and colors just because it's so damn simple to do.
Yeah, absolutely. So what we need to do, buddy, we need to have a conflab and set a date for another game of Commands and Colors Napoleonics.
Well,
perhaps...
what about next time we try Red Alert?
Oh, because I've not played that yet. That'd be interesting.
That might be a good opportunity just to do a how to play, do the first scenario out of the book and just show folks how to play. And I can teach you.
Cool, because that's on a big battle mat, isn't it?
Oh, it's lovely, yeah. About 3.5 foot across.
Cool. Well, all right. Yeah, we can try that, mate. We can try that. Absolutely. Was there anything else we wanted to say on men's health?
Well, I think the main thing is don't live in fear, don't die of fear. If you've got concerns, get checked, and if you're of a certain age, get checked whether you want to or not. Yeah,
I think absolutely correct. Because whilst on the one hand, like, dang, I've got cancer. It's like, well, fortunately, just that one highly attentive nurse who listened to what I said.
Mm-hmm.
And thought, oh, should we just let's just take a bit more blood and get that blood test done. Effectively, might have saved my life.
Yep.
And yes, it's one of those horrible things, unfortunately, that the treatment is going to make me feel it's the treatment's going to make me feel ill, where the disease so far hasn't. But that's one of those things, it literally is almost kind of a kill or cure situation. And frankly, I'd rather have the cure, however ghastly it's going to be. In my mind, over the next, what's clearly going to be 6, 9, 12 months, I'm going to be going through a lot, and I'm going to be continuing the video diary as often as I can, because I want people to understand. I want to demystify it.
Yes.
Right, for other people, but also it helps me, to be honest. Because some people have said, God, why are you doing that, Henry? Good. Well, it's because actually it's easier for me to do the explanation once and broadcast that to 1,000 people than have 1,000 people ask me individually, how are you doing, Henry?
Right.
Right? Because it's one of the things, Jay, and I want to say that while I'm here, is again a huge thank you, a huge, massive thank you to everyone, because there have been hundreds of you who have, sent, really nice messages to me and said nice things on Twitter or Facebook or whatever. I'm absolutely amazed, bowled over by the incredibly kind and generous reaction I've had from people to my news. But also, I'm sure people can also understand that also means I could spend my entire life having individual conversations with people,
right,
trying to explain what's happening to me and thanking them. So it is, I don't want to seem rude, but it is a lot easier for me to say a huge thank you once to 1,000 people than individually to all those people.
Sure.
But it does make a huge difference. My morale has definitely been kept up by the thought that there are so many people rooting for me to get through this, and it's amazing. It's really amazing. So, a lot of people say social media, is horrible, you don't want to hang about there. So far, the evidence in my case has been completely the opposite, and particularly on Twitter, it's been absolutely incredible. So thank you, everyone.
Yeah, and you can't understate the importance of a positive attitude, because my mom had breast cancer. My dad had prostate cancer himself, and they both did their damnedest to have a positive attitude about it, and they both beat their respective cancers.
Yeah,
and you just gotta put your head down and get to it, and you hope for the best and prepare for the worst. But you just you put one foot in front of the other, and you say, okay, we're gonna do it, and that's all there is to it.
I think this is, just before we kind of wrap up, this is where I do want to also mention the mental health aspects, because I don't want people to get the impression that it's just I'm brushing it off easily, right?
Right.
Hey, I've got cancer. And some days I can deal with that better than other days. But I think, again, it's a matter of reaching out. Obviously, you have to be very selective about who you let your guard down completely with, because it's a very, having a serious illness is an intimate thing. It's a very private thing, as well as I may be in some respects dealing with it publicly because of my position in the hobby and stuff, and I want to feel like I'm not just wasting the next year of my life dealing with this thing, that some good can come out of it.
Right.
Not just for me, but for other people as well. But yeah, I have some really crappy days. In the last month or so since I've had the news, obviously it's a tremendous shock, and it makes you feel vulnerable. And particularly because I think, one of the things I've tried to explain to other people is, like, if I smoked 50 cigarettes a day and was diagnosed with lung cancer, it'd be like, oh, yeah, fair enough. Okay, my fault. Something like this that's just kind of, where the heck did that come from? Right? It's very disquieting to think that your own body can suddenly malfunction in that way, and a disease can kind of come from out of nowhere, so it seems.
Right.
And so that is an unsettling thing. It makes you, because I've been proud of trying to maintain some fitness and good health. I eat an amazing diet. All the doctors say, oh, you've got to eat lots of vegetables and a Mediterranean diet. I do exactly that, and I've been doing that for years. So it's not like I could say, oh, yeah, okay, well, if I stop eating so many pork pies, maybe it'll get better, right? So it is unsettling. So as well as the physical therapy side of things, it's really important for people to address the mental health aspects of this as well. And if you do, the first mental health aspect to deal with is take a deep breath, go and get the test done.
Yep.
Right? So that's the first hurdle that people need to overcome, and that's a mental health thing, not a physical health thing. It's like finding the courage, right, to going, allowing yourself to be vulnerable enough to go and get the test and just admit that it could happen to you. That's the first thing, right? And then the ongoing treatments and stuff obviously are going to be arduous, and so it's making sure you've got access to, if you're lucky, you've got some really good friends, some good buddies who, if you've known them a long time and stuff, and they've seen you feeling emotionally raw, then they'll accept, and you have to accept you can't be brilliant every day, right? I've had to accept I can't be Mr. Sunshine every day. I can't be Mr. Tough Guy, oh, this is nothing every day. I have to accept that I'm going to have good days, I'm going to have bad days. And coping with that mentally as well as physically, and getting the right help to cope with that mentally as well as physically is incredibly important. So if you've got a supportive family, fantastic. If you've got supportive friends, fantastic. There is also counselling you can get. You'd have to tell me what it's like in the US, but here in the UK, we have two amazing charities just for prostate cancer. We have the Prostate Cancer UK charity, and also for cancer patients in general, there's the Macmillan Cancer Charity. It does absolutely amazing work, and they can provide counselling. So don't be afraid to reach out. There are people there who can help you get through things like this. Don't have to face it alone. And if nothing else, as I was saying earlier, wow, on Twitter, the response I've had on Twitter has been a massive morale boost. So guys, and women as well with female health problems, don't be scared about being open about it, about speaking out about it, because the experience I've had is anything to go by. The amount of support you can get, even just online, is phenomenal. So I think that's all I wanted to say there, Jay.
Well, I think that's. I think those are all great things that you're bringing up, and it really is one of the good things about the way social media has, I guess you could say, grown with the hobby, or the hobby has grown with social media.
Yep.
It is somewhat of a community. I mean, for crying out loud, we're on two different continents playing a game.
Yep.
And we had some folks from Canada and Spain and the UK and the US join in. And so it just goes to show the reach that we have to one another.
Yep.
And how we can use these tools to support one another in a positive way.
Exactly. Precisely. Right. Well, thank you very much indeed, Jay. And thanks to Chris again for his backroom work and sorting out what my sound problem was. Sorry about that, folks, earlier in the show. Turned out that I've got a piece of software that interferes with me being able to hear what's going on.
That's all right.
That's what I do.
Fantastic.
All right. Well, on that note, I think this is a good time as any to go ahead and close up shop, and we'll have to think about doing something in the future. Like I said, maybe Red Alert.
Yep.
All right. That sounds like a challenge. Maybe we need to get our initial fleets painted.
Oh, yes, because I noticed that, was it Matt Slade, who's a professional painter in the UK? He painted some Red Alert stuff for one of his clients, and it looked gorgeous.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna throw some spray paint on and hit it with a contrast paint and maybe a highlight and call it good.
Yeah, I think that's what Matt did, and it just because I just think the plain red and green plastic that hang on, I can slide over here and grab the box. Yay! Hey folks, Red Alert. In case you've not seen it, but yeah, I think the basic red and green plastic things are a bit kind of meh. But there's so much stuff in here. All the cardboard bits and this and that, and wow. Here's the red spaceships, folks.
I like the looks of the green ones over the red ones myself. Have you taken a good look at them yet, Henry?
Yeah, I've had a few out of the packet to have a look, and there's this monster dreadnoughty thing. Looks a bit like a lollipop. Looks like it should taste of raspberry or something, right? So, but yeah, there's masses of cool stuff in the box, and all these cardboard counters and hexy things. Looks amazing. And I have been promising to play test it for such a long time because they gave it to me at Salute in April and said, "Oh, would you kind of say a few words online about it, Henry?" It's like it's been just sitting over there. So that's a good idea, Jay. We'll sort out a date, folks. And we'll do a game of Red Alert.
Sounds good.
Okay? All right, buddy. So we'll wind up there. Thank you, everyone who's come and watched. Thanks to Nick and Pat and everyone else, and everyone who's going to be watching this on the replay probably as well, because it's also a lot of people are probably going to fireworks displays here in the UK because it's Skyforks night on Tuesday.
Oh yeah.
So a lot of people will be going to fireworks displays on Sunday evening. Hopefully the weather's been okay because we had some pretty torrential rain and stuff. It's a good way to put a stop to a gunpowder plot, that's for sure. So thanks to everyone for watching, whether live or on replay. Hope you've enjoyed it. I think it's been a bit more brief than we were expecting, hasn't it, Jay? But that's not necessarily a bad thing.
That's okay. Mick says, "Well done, chaps. Thanks for that." Now there's a nice bottle of a rather pleasant Colt du Rhone calling me. Hang tough, Henry.
Will do. All right, I can see Jay's tummy. Oh, there he is. Hi. Thanks, guys. Take care.
All right. As always, folks, if the wargaming you're having isn't any fun, you make it fun. That is all.